you're gonna see that my approach to 2.5 pound vessels, they almost all start the same because I'm getting all the clay up and out of the bottom. Little time focusing on a firm foundation. Little choke inward. If I'm gonna have this thing almost closed, I need that clay to already realize that that's what's gonna be asked of it. All right. I'm going to need this clay up here for closing. And here we go. I'm going to start stretching this pot outward. Into the rib. That's a nice form right there, but it's not what we're going for. I'm going to stretch out again, into the rib. I like working with metal ribs because you can conform it to whatever shape you want. I'm going to bring this up higher. Feeling pretty good about it? Yeah. That's a nice form right there, isn't it? All right. Pushing out just a little bit more. Coming up a little higher here. I'm gonna bring this out just a little bit more and higher here. Stretched pretty thin at this point. Now, I think I'm going to give a little compression from the inside. Pretty good about that. Okay. Don't see any water on the bottom, but I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and compressed down there. Pretty good. Now, I'm going to start closing this pot up. I'm going to put a little moisture on there to do it. B-Mix is a little tricky for choking. It doesn't choke as nicely as some other clays, but you just have to learn the personality of each clay. Pulling this back to center. Choking again. Start at the bottom. Feel full revolutions around as I'm choking. Come right to that point right there and set up the pull and look for fully on center pulls. If I get to the top and I have a little leftover clay, I'll just take it off. There we go. Nice. I'm going to choke it in a little more. Ooh, we're getting close now, aren't we? Put a little moisture on the inside. Come right here where my transition is. And bring that clay inward. I'm pushing inward as I'm pulling up. There we go. I'm going to do that one more time, one more little choke, and bring my middle finger down in there and discover it right there, and bring it in. If you compress inward, you're choking and pulling at the same time, and it keeps it from getting too thin on you. I'm going to cut a little bit off right there. Now, I'm feeling pretty good about this, so I am going to take my rib and lose these throwing lines. It's right about there. Got a little transition right there that I'm not entirely happy with. I'm going to try to go below it and come up into it. Yeah, and work that out. There we go. Now, if I had a little throwing stick, I'd go in there and work on that. Do y'all see? Can y'all see that little place? I'm being very nitpicky, but it's bothering me a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is put a little moisture on there and compress in from there so that I can lose that little transition spot. There we go. All right, now, I'm kind of liking this one. I'm going to clean this little neck up, and then I'm going to choke it even a little bit more. All the way to just a teeny little point. What do you think of that? I'm kind of liking it. I am. I think I'm going to make this bevel out a little, that way. And I think I'm going to choke it in even a little more. Full revolutions. All the way up. Now I think I'm going to put a little swirl in it. And I'm going to start it. Let me clean this up first. I think I'm gonna start that swirl somewhere right about here. And I'm gonna slow my wheel way down and I'm gonna go up. Cut a little off right at the top. Like that. And there it is. I really like it. Clean up a little bit on the bottom. I'm just gonna follow that line up under the pot. Do you see that? Cut that clay away. Do a nice undercut. Well, I stuck it all on there again. There we go. Now I'm going to perfect that transition up under there. Oh, I'm liking that. Let me give you a peek. Choking in and choking in and choking in is not easy. I recommend you start with a stoneware clay. Look at that pretty spiral.